Solid figures or space figures are also known as 3D shapes because it has 3 dimensions: the length, width, and height. Let us study the parts of a solid figure. First, we have the edges. These are the line segments that meet or join together in order to create a figure. In our example, we have 12 edges. Next part is vertices. Vertices are the corners or the points where line segments or edges meet. The figure right here has 8 vertices. Next part, we have faces. Faces are the flat surfaces of the figure. In our example, it has 6 faces. Next one is the lateral face. Lateral faces are the flat surfaces that do not include the top and the bottom part of a figure. In our example, it has 4 lateral faces. The last part is the base. The base is the top or the bottom part of the figure. In our example, it has 2 bases. Now let us study the 2 types of solid figures, the polyhedron and non-polyhedron. Polyhedron is a solid figure with plane or flat surfaces, while non-polyhedron is a solid figure with curved surfaces. Now let us classify the following objects. First, we have here a cube. What do you think? Is it polyhedron or non-polyhedron? Correct. Our next object is a cone. What do you think? You're right. It is a non-polyhedron. Next one, we have here a pyramid. That's right. A pyramid is a polyhedron. Next object is a cylinder. What do you think? Is it polyhedron or non-polyhedron? Very good. Next is sphere. Of course, a sphere is a non-polyhedron. And for our last object, a rectangular prism. And this is a polyhedron. Great job! Let's learn more about solid or space figures. There are different kinds of solid figures, and these are prism, pyramid, cylinder, cone, and sphere. Let's talk about prisms. A prism is a polyhedron which has parallel and congruent bases. It is named according to the shape of its base. A prism with a square base is a square prism, and it is usually known as cube. A cube has 6 square faces, 12 edges which have the same length, and 8 vertices. Example of cube are ice cubes and Rubik's cube. Let's have another prism. A prism with rectangular base is called rectangular prism. Rectangular prism has 6 rectangular faces, 12 edges, and 8 vertices. Example of these are a shoebox and an aquarium. Let's have another prism. A prism with triangular base is called triangular prism. Triangular prism has 5 faces, 9 edges, and 6 vertices. Example of these are a Toblerone and a roof of a house. Remember, prisms have 2 identical bases that are parallel to each other. As we can see, the top and bottom part of prisms have the same shape or identical. Prisms are named according to the shape of its base. Therefore, if the shape of the base is hexagon, that is hexagonal prism. And if the shape of the base is octagon, that is octagonal prism. And a lot more. Next solid figure is a pyramid. A pyramid is a polyhedron whose base is a polygon and whose lateral faces are triangles which intersect at a point called vertex. Like prism, a pyramid is named according to the shape of its base. Let's talk about the different kinds of pyramid. The base of this pyramid is triangle, and that's why it is called triangular pyramid. Triangular pyramid is usually known as tetrahedron. Next one is a pyramid with a square base, and that is why it is called square pyramid. The other one is a pyramid whose base is a rectangle, and that is why it is called rectangular pyramid. The last pyramid here has a base of pentagon, and therefore it is called pentagonal pyramid. If the base of a pyramid is hexagon, that is hexagonal pyramid. And if the base of the pyramid is heptagon, it is called heptagonal pyramid. And a lot more. They just differ on the shape of their bases. Let's proceed to another solid figure, which is a cylinder. A cylinder is a non-polyhedron that has 2 congruent and parallel circular bases and a lateral curved surface. Example of this figure, a can of soda and canned goods. Next one is cone. A cone is a non-polyhedron that has 1 circular base, a curved surface, and a vertex. Example of these are an ice cream cone and a traffic cone. And for our last solid figure, a sphere. A sphere has a curved surface on which every point is of the same distance from the center. Examples of spheres are a ball and a globe.